How did you feel before starting the program versus after passing?
Starting my preparations and before joining Sure Success, I felt like I knew nothing about the concepts.
Hello, everyone. We have a very special guest today with us, Jagjeet. Thank you so much for joining us. Jagjeet has passed her NCLEX RN exam in first attempt in 85 questions. I know I don't glamorize the number of questions, but some students work so hard that I have to glamorize the questions. So, Jagjeet, thank you so much for being here and huge congratulations from the bottom of my heart. You have worked so hard for this.
Thank you so very much, Sarah ma'am, for having me and giving me the opportunity to be in front of you after this a huge success, I would say.
Yeah, it is huge indeed, Jagjeet, because it's such a big goal, especially with the family. It becomes a lot, right? Like as we grow older, responsibilities are so much, and we somehow place ourselves on the sidelines and focus on the family more, right? So, without taking much time for our audience too, I have some questions for you. Hopefully, they will help the future people who are trying to pass their NCLEX RN exam and take encouragement from you. So, my first question is, what made you choose our program over other NCLEX prep options? There are so many. Was there a moment when you were like convinced that, oh my God, this is it, this is the right fit for me?
Actually, Sarah ma'am, I would give credit for this to my cousin. She did all the hard work. Actually, she had done a thorough research and finally chose you. And I truly, trusted her recommendation. And here I am with, you know, the
You're talking about Sarabjot, right?
yeah, she's
So
one
I
of
think Sarabjot recommended you and Mandeep, and you all are done, passed, and you have, achieved your goals.
exactly.
That's
We are
amazing.
all now relieved and relaxed and feels like a heavy burden on our shoulders is not off now.
Oh,
It's so
that's so nice, so nice. So walk us through your journey for NCLEX. How did you feel before starting the program versus after passing? And what was the biggest game changer for you? What changed everything?
Sir, ma'am, before starting my preparations and before joining Sure Success, and when I started, learning from you guys, I felt like I knew nothing about the concepts. Um, Although we have been working in a retirement home from last so many years, but when we started to, begin learning from you and Alveen, ma'am, I felt like, where were you guys all these years? And yeah, and it was not just about passing the NCLEX exam. It was just gaining the knowledge from you.
Oh,
Yes.
thank you. That's really kind of you to say. So ours, like as you know, the program uses specific approach for the preparation, right? What tools or strategies helped you the most? Like, what was the surprise that, oh my God, I never knew this part?
There were so many things. It's not only about the learning strategies, the tips, the extra additional tips you have been giving us throughout the journey was amazing. And I did use those tips throughout my journey, especially, you and Alvin ma'am always kept on reminding us, take good breaks, do things you love, to motivate yourself and, so that you can come back with that energy and focus on your learning properly. So taking good breaks and also one advice I would like to give to everyone, the one you gave in one of the class, on the day of the exam you said, always eat a complex carbohydrates instead of simple carbohydrates. So and I remembered that tip. I knew that I'm definitely going to do that because it's a 5 hour exam, and we go through such a mental stress and our body burns a lot of glucose, right? And we need a good energy when we are writing our exam just to stay focused. So I think that advice was one of the best advice, and I did, instead of grabbing a coffee and a and a bagel for
Donor,
dinner,
yeah, yeah.
I did
No,
have
that's
fruit.
wonderful, Jagjit. I do tell the students because sometimes I hear, like, I know these are the things that nobody usually talks about: what to eat before the day of exam, what to take with the exam, how should you dress up. But we kind of try to focus because you have done the content, you have done really well, and now the next part is about how you are externally prepared, right? Like how prepared you are. So I know, just like you were thinking, many of the students probably pick up coffee and a bagel or a donut from like a coffee shop, but I do believe that the students need a stable level of glucose because we are nurses now, right? Like we understand how to maintain your focus. And rather than picking up on a simple source of carbs, I will say pick up a complex source of carbs, pick up on some fat and protein to kind of give yourself a sustainable energy. And it does change the game for this. It did change it for you, so I'm really happy that that worked for you.
It did work for me. Thank
Yeah,
you for that.
yeah. So it can, the journey for the NCLEX can feel very overwhelming, right? So how was the support system for you? How did you feel the support from the Shore Success team was?
Ma'am, I was lucky enough to have a good support from my family, from my husband, as well as from you guys. Whenever we needed you, you were always there through chats. Sometimes we are so impatient and we would text you, and then after a few minutes, we text Alvin ma'am as well. And always we get reply from both of you. Amazing.
Yeah.
Yes, and then also I would say, your technicians, Mona ma'am, Rishita ma'am, they were amazing throughout this. Like we have a full support of them. Especially applying for ATT, and how to go through all these steps. Like we had a huge support from Mona ma'am and Rishita ma'am as well.
That's amazing. I'm going to forward your thank you to them. I'm sure they also feel accomplished when a student becomes successful. So I am pretty sure, like Mona has been talking to me about you. She's mentioned that even Alveen, Mona, and we were like, Jagjeet is so grateful. And it's really nice when we find a student who followed all the tricks, the strategies. Like you are already working in the system, you're already a registered practical nurse, you have like achieved the original title that you deserve. And of course, when it comes from a student who is already in the system, it means even more because you know exactly what people are teaching you, how is the real life versus how is the NCLEX. So even when we give you examples from our experience, you are able to relate more, that okay, you know what, this is true, oh yeah, this happens, right? So I think that also is like a very good indicator for us that this is the right path.
Exactly, I totally agree.
Yeah. So when you saw pass on your exam, what was your first thought?
Oh my God. My husband told me not to open that email because we do get the results within 24 hours, right? And I did receive my results around at 8:45 or 46 a.m. And my husband told me not to open the email. He was the one who opened the email. He came to work. I was working that day. So he came to work and he opened the email in front of me, and I couldn't control my tears. I kind of knew that because when I was writing the exam, sir, ma'am, I was, already feeling a bit high because I knew that the questions are so familiar and I have practiced all the topics, and I was fully prepared. So I kind of knew that, I'm nailing it. I'm gonna do it.
That's
But
so
still,
nice.
but,
Yeah.
but still, when you receive the actual email, when you see that pass, congratulations, it was really, such an amazing feeling.
Yeah, that's such a good feeling. I know, and I can, like especially you and your husband are together to share that moment. That is even more amazing. You didn't have to call him to tell him, hey, I passed. I think seeing it together, those emotions are even more meaningful. That you shared that joy together.
Exactly, because family support, I have such a good family support as well. So we kind of went through together this journey. So, and we shared the success together as well.
Yeah, of course, of course. And I think the family deserves like the families who support their loved ones in such a challenging exam. I think they deserve it equally. They also become successful when you become successful, because they also, I think there are so many efforts of those people behind us. And it's always an understanding man behind a very successful woman. That's how I believe in it. And I think I see it. And the more I see the girls passing their exam, the more I feel that an understanding man is standing behind this girl and she's winning the world, but he deserves the equal title. He has made it possible for her. So I have so much respect for those men. I have so much, this like gratitude for those men like your husband, who are standing by their wives. Even Sarabjot, even Mandeep, like you guys have a beautiful friend circle. Everyone, I remember when I spoke to Sarabjot, the same kind of feeling she told me, like, oh, my husband's just standing by me. And we need more of this. We need more supportive. And of course, I'm not just saying like the husband being supportive, but I know, because a majority of the students who come to us are, like, females. We have had males, and I have seen the example in the other side too, that the wife supported the guy immensely, like taking care of every single thing, and he just studied. So I think this is such a beautiful thing for me to witness, that people have such a supportive family system, because it just, like, the exam is already stressful.
Exactly. It makes your journey so much easier when you have a support from your family. It's so much easier.
Yeah.
You're not the only one struggling, right? You have a support, to help you out.
And I'm pretty sure, like, when you're going in for the exam, they are vouching for you. Go, Jagjeet, go,
He
Jagjeet.
was he was sitting in the car and he was doing the part for me.
Oh, that's so beautiful. That's so beautiful. So, my next question, if a friend is stressing out about the NCLEX, what would you tell them about your experience with us? How would, like, what would you tell them? What should they do?
I believe, sir, ma'am, first of all, it's best to find a reliable and a trusted source to prepare for an NCLEX exam. Find a good source and then commit to it, instead of bouncing between multiple books and websites and social media. It distracts you, it overwhelms you. So I think this is the advice I would give to incoming nurses who are preparing for NCLEX exam. Just stick to one trusted source, and just keep your journeys simple, and instead of juggling here and there.
Especially with the social media, Jagjit, these days. And I think I tell this to the students too. Like, one of the other students who passed, I think you guys both passed on the same day, or like three of you passed on the same day, I believe, like just in the same order. And I remember talking to him, and he used to say, oh my God, like, whenever I'm studying, my phone is distracting me so much. And trust me, I made all the students take the phones out of the room. I'm like,
Yeah,
nobody should be studying with the phone next to them. Everybody has
exactly.
to put the phone into not disturb.
Exactly. This is, I took your advice, and I disconnected my social media, my Instagram, Facebook, or Snapchat, whatever. I disconnected my social media for 3 months. And it was a bit hard for initial 15 days, but and after that, I just reconnected my Instagram 2 days ago. I felt so relieved and my mind is so relaxed. Being away from that noise is sometime, something you needed, right? So that was so helpful. Disconnecting from social media for 3 months was a game changing decision I believe I took.
That's a brilliant decision. I think it's a detoxification, right? Like, we all feel addicted to social media, and the dopamine is releasing. And as soon as you go away, you're like, oh my God, am I missing a major part? Like, what is happening? I need to know. But like, nothing really is happening.
You start to have those withdrawal symptoms when you feel like you haven't touched to open the Instagram for now. It's been now 3 hours. It's when you don't do it, and then you started to have those withdrawal symptoms. I think that's a hard decision. I think everyone must should do it who are preparing for the NCLEX. It makes your job so much easier.
I think that's a wonderful advice, Jagjeet. I think every student who is preparing for NCLEX or any major exam should actually, I know people feel like they're gonna miss out on something. So I tell them, I'm like, okay, have a reliable person. So for example, for you, for your husband, right? He's there. If something's gonna happen, he's gonna let you know. Or you have us. Anytime,
Yes, exactly.
anytime anything happens, right?
Exactly. Yeah. And then I did made couple of friends from the group and I was in touch with them. They were so supportive. Navdeep, right?
Yeah, I
She's
know, Navdeep. Yeah,
passed the exam, right?
yeah,
So I stayed in touch with her. I stayed in touch with my cousin.
yeah.
So I think we just need a couple of two true, bell wishers.
True supporters there. And I think that's the best part when you guys are in the same group in the class. And I know you guys were discussing questions before too, because when I had one-on-one, like you guys did mention it to me that you guys were all doing the questions together. So for me, I think that's a beautiful feeling, because we, through us, you guys were able to connect and find the right people who supported you in your journey. I think it's very important for the, and for like any student, whoever, wherever they're studying, when we are discussing, you find the right kind of people that, okay, her goal and my goal is exactly the same. Why not just come together and fulfill it together?
And it is helpful. Yeah.
It is very, very helpful. And I'm pretty sure you guys are going to stay friends forever.
We are still in touch.
Yeah. So, my next question, what's the one thing you wish every internationally educated student or the nurse knew before starting the NCLEX preparation? What should they know? Like, what you think you knew before you started?
I believe because there are some, sources, they do provide NCLEX preparation classes in their own native language. I believe that's not beneficial. It's better to go to a mentor, to a source who teaches you in English, because vocabulary plays a huge role. I still remember the word abundant. I had no idea what this word meaning, and we did use this word a few times, many times in our during our learning, and I that word did showed in my exam. So it's
Wow.
plays it
Wow.
plays a huge role when you do your learning in English, because the exam is all in English, right? That's the reason the passing rate of international nurses is like, almost, I believe, 50%, right?
It is 50%.
Yeah, you showed us those
Yeah, I like to show that. And then I also like, that's a great, which is such a valuable example you have given. And I remember so many students, and I know I made you guys Google too much. Like every time I interview, this is one of the points that's coming up again and again from the students whenever I'm interviewing students. Like, of course, I know you guys are like, doing your own thing. But when I'm talking to the student, every single time, every student who has passed has told me the same thing about vocabulary. They're like, oh my god, there were so many words in the exam that we googled during the classes because we didn't know them, and then thank god I did, because now I know them.
exactly, especially when you type that word, you see that word, then it stays in your memory for a
Yeah,
longer time.
yeah. No, that's a wonderful example, Jagjeet. I think we need to talk more about it openly. Okay, it's okay to study in your own language. Like, I think that's our comfort zone.
Exactly. You get to understand it, but when that hard vocabulary shows in your exam, then you get overwhelmed and confused, and you have no idea, what this word is what this word means is, right? So it's always better to practice your vocabulary, your English, and try to study and learn in English, because
That's a great advice,
because
Jagjeet.
you're gonna work in these countries, and that English is the main language. It's not your native language. You're gonna provide care. Yeah, in some sections you might have to use your own native language, but your main language is the English.
Yeah. Talking to the physician, like the confidence level also changes with the language, right? Now, you guys are so confident and you can call any physician and feel like, okay, you know what? This is my report. I can see the confidence, I can sense it. And it also comes from working in the field that you have been working for so long, and you are confident in talking to other people in the same language, because English is the common mode of communication. Okay, so that's so great. I'm gonna let you go with the last question because I was thinking about it. What was your go-to study snack or stress relief ritual during preparation?
Sir, ma'am, I'm already a very health conscious person.
Okay.
So exactly. So it wasn't too hard for me. But I love, soaked almonds and walnuts.
Okay.
That was my go-to snack with coconut water. And no one was allowed to touch my coconut water case in my house. I have teenagers and they eat a lot, right?
Yeah, of
So
course. They're always
my
hungry.
exactly. So my teenagers were not allowed to touch my coconut water case. So that was my go-to snack, and I'm still continuing it.
And that's like whatever you just mentioned, that's such a brain healthy snack you have, because coconut water is providing you all the electrolytes, and you're getting the best omega-3 fatty acids from those soaked almonds and walnuts. Like, wow, Jagjit, I am so impressed. That's amazing. So what was your stress relief ritual?
My stress relief ritual was definitely a short walk around the block whenever I feel like I'm kind of demotivated and I need some energy, my brain needs some rest. So I would just go for a quick walk around the block, sometime by myself, sometime with my husband. Yeah, and it was really helpful just being in a nature. It gives you such a positive energy when you come back, and you can just go back to your learning. You're able to focus for a longer time. It's
Yeah,
just a 10-minute walk. It makes a huge difference.
it does. Amazing, Jagjit. Such a wonderful interview with you. I think there are so many gems that students can get just by watching this 15-20 minutes interview with you. And thank you so much for your time. I truly appreciate it. And I'm so grateful that I get to get connected to students like you who have so much experience and knowledge to share with the world. I know you're going to be such an amazing RN, so things are going to go up for you, and hopefully we'll get to meet one another one day. Hopefully we'll see each other. So thank you for choosing Sure Success Nursing Hub, and thank you for all your trust and belief, and congratulations once again, and thank you for taking the time to talk to me today.
Thank you so much, sir. And I wish you all the very best to Pure Success team, to Alveen ma'am, Mona ma'am, and Rishita ma'am. Thank you so much for all your support. And I'm really, really very grateful. My family is very grateful too.
Oh,
And it's all just because of you.
thank you, Jagjeet. Thank you.